Gel manicure can cause serious damage, and these nails are proof. How and why it happened, how to avoid it, and most importantly, what to do next. Let's talk about it. This client came to do the service of product removal and new extensions, and it was obvious that her gel overlay, it's old. I mean, it's been a while. It's on her nails, probably 6 or even 7 weeks, because we can see the growth. And she also said that she filed them a little bit because they got extremely long. So it's obvious we have some product lifting here. If we take a look underneath of the nails, if we take a look from the sidewalls, and probably some moisture and maybe dirt got stuck in this lifting, but nothing too extreme. By the way, this video was recorded by my colleague Anna Fox, because originally it was supposed to be a nail transformation video where she simply takes the nails that have some old overlay on them and creates new extensions. But something went wrong. So we start with product removal. This is the carbide bead with green abrasive mark, and usually we use speed around 20,000 rotations per minute. So here we have a coat of color and supposedly base coat. And starting from this first nail, we can already see that something is wrong. There's definitely some discoloration under the nail, which was expectable. Like I said, there's some product lifting, and who knows what can get stuck in this pocket. But something tells me that it is going to be more than that. Not just product lifting, we also see some white spots. And let's remove the product completely so we can see a closer picture. I think that the nail plate is damaged too. At first I thought that this whitish area is product lifting, and even though it's not great, usually it's not a disaster. We can just clean it, remove it, and that's it. But it was not removable. I mean, we're filing this area like we normally do, and we're filing, and it's not coming off. So what does it mean? That there is no product lifting in this exact area. This is the nail plate lifting from the nail bed, and this condition is called onycholysis and can be caused by various reasons, and sometimes it's impossible to tell. One of the most common is physical trauma. It's usually when a client hit the nail or something like that, and usually they will know the reason, but she said that she didn't get into any kind of accidents with her fingers or nails, and they're not hurting at all. So we are going to exclude this reason. Now it's pretty obvious that there is a massive area of onycholysis, and what's worse, besides this separation of the nail from the nail bed, there's also some dark color, which can mean many things. Let's proceed with product removal, and looks like this is not the only surprise we are getting today. We removed the color of the next nail, and guess what's underneath? More lifting. And it's hard to say what kind of lifting it is, but something tells me that this is onycholysis again. This is almost impossible to get in some kind of accident when you hurt the exact same area on few nails at once. So this was definitely not some kind of small accident. Another common reason for onycholysis that I see more often recently, unfortunately, is chemical burn. And most people think of chemical burns as something that somebody spilled acid on you and it's burning like crazy and the skin is burning alive. Well, no, it's not like that. So what can happen is when we apply the product and it was not properly cured, and by not properly cured, I don't mean that it's wet. It was just not fully cured. So normally you cannot even tell right away. And then the person just go on with their living, but we have this undercured product trapped inside. So it's in direct contact with the nail plate and it's absorbing into it, and it's happening within a long period of time. Here we have a client who didn't do fills for almost 2 months, which is only making it worse, which means this exposure was very long. Another possible reason is incorrect use of product and the lamp. Maybe the lamp was too strong for the product. Also, it could be the product itself. Some products are just not designed to be used in a certain way. They're designed to be used in a very thin coat, but instead some nail technicians are using them as builder gels. They're applying too much, or they don't have compatible lamps that cannot fully cure this exact product, and it ends up undercured, and well, you know the result. I have to say that this client in particular is very lucky, because we can see that her nail beds naturally are rather thick, which actually gave her an advantage, because if it would happen to a person with naturally thin nails, it would be way worse. I'm afraid she might have had this kind of chemical burns on every single nail. When you're removing the product from a client like this, you just get nervous at some point, because you're filing off the product and just thinking, oh my god, what is going to happen under this next nail? Will we see some onycholisis there, or is this one's going to be clean? Under next nail, once again we see this whitish spots, we see some dark spots, so unfortunately we're having more of these problems. But wait, actually this one looks a little different, so maybe this is not what I'm thinking it is. Maybe under this nail we do have some actual product lifting, because it looks different. Normally you can tell as you're filing off the product, you can feel when it's separated from the nail already. It doesn't feel as sturdy, it's not as hard, and you can see it's already falling off. So in this case we have this pocket of the lifted product, and this dark color could be simply some moisture and dirt. But once we have this product lifting and we have moisture inside for a long periods of time, we also can have some pseudomonas here, which may have a greenish color. But looks like here it's not that bad, luckily. It's more like dark gray color, however, it still doesn't look good at all. So we definitely need to remove all this product, and looks like at least the nail underneath is okay. This is so satisfying to see this lifted area of the product simply fly away, so we can finally enjoy this clean nail. Oh, but that's not everything. We have more product lifting on the other side of the nail. So as you can see, this product is technically falling off. This is so tricky, because remember the color she had, this bright mint color, it's not a see-through color, so you can never tell. But on the other hand, you don't really need to tell when it's been more than 4 weeks and feel overdue. Please do not do this. It always ends up bad. It always ends up with some kind of consequences, and let's say in this case it's bad. So we don't know if she had an onycholisis before. This client is claiming that everything was fine, so it could be true, could be not, we will never know. Finally, we remove the product from the last nail, and looks like this one is clean. I truly feel like it's my birthday and I'm just opening the presents, because here we do not have this surprise, so this nail is okay. But what's with the rest of them? Let's take a look. Got a couple nails with onycholisis, another one with a little bit of onycholisis, and let's do the other hand. So we start removing the product, and looks like the surprises today are not going to end, because I can already see some brownish color again. This is probably the product lifting. Whenever I see product lifting, I always try to detect why it happened and analyze. I'm always explaining it to my students. I'm saying, hey, this is product lifting near the cuticle. It was probably because of the bad nail prep. And we have this lifting here, this means this. But in this case, when product is halfway through the nail plate, when it's outgrown like that, it won't make any sense, because it's just been too far. This is simply physics. So imagine we have some weight on our nails, and as it's moving, the center of this weight is also moving towards the free edge. So it's so easy to accidentally damage your nails by hitting something. But in this case, as you can see, we have something worse. So luckily on this next nail, supposedly we only have a product lifting, and it's like 2/3 of the entire nail is lifted. So it was hanging there only near the cuticle mostly, while the rest is simply falling off. I understand that life happens, so if you don't have time, if you don't have funds, there are ways to remove your nails carefully and safely at home. I have some videos dedicated to this topic. If you would like to check them out, then follow the links in the upper right corner, but please do not let this happen to your nails. And just when I thought, okay, this is it, we finally removed the product and there's nothing else waiting for us there underneath, no, we have another nail which is full of lifting. It's also changing its color. So the reason we should not have a lifting for such a long time, it's basically a pocket. And yes, if we have moisture there, even if we have pseudomonas, it's still not the end of the world, but this is the perfect environment for different kinds of bacteria and fungal infections. Is it possible to get one if you have lifted product on your nails for too long? Oh, absolutely, I've seen that. So please, if you feel like your nails are lifting, it's the first sign that you need to take them off ASAP. When you only have onycholysis and nothing else, usually this is just a white pocket because our nails are naturally white color. So we have this pocket that we can reach under the nail. But if there is some change of color, it could mean many things. Maybe there is simply something that got stuck and it's not possible to clean it, but probably it is something worse. And also, this is the perfect house for bacteria. What should we do in this case? Like I said, no extensions, no overlays. Now, the best case scenario here would be to do a simple procedure that is called cleaning of onycholysis. We should simply file off this area that is already lifted from the nail bed. This way, we'll open this pocket and avoid any kinds of infections getting inside, and it is actually going to help to renew the nail plate. It will grow back. We can use some special treatments that would promote the growth of the nail, and this would be the perfect scenario here. And by the way, doing this kind of service, especially from a certified medical specialist like Anna, is quite a pricey procedure. And guess what? She explained it all to our model. By the way, this was not a client, this is the model, so they usually get a free service in exchange of their time. She said, no, please do not do this. So even though we offered her basically a treatment, so what you can do is to file off this onycholysis, but please do not do this at home because it really requires a certain knowledge. But if a professional does this to you, then all you need to do is just a home care. Simply use special treatments, cuticle oil, and let it grow, and you will have a new, renewed nail. But she didn't want that. She said, no, I want to cover it. And in my opinion, this would be a crime to apply the product on nails like this. I agree with Anna. I would never do that myself. I don't want to take this responsibility on myself. And also, it won't make any sense. It's like when you have a serious skin disease and the way you treat it is simply sprinkle it with glitter. No, it's not going to help it. And yes, I understand. Maybe she has some very special occasion, like she needs to go somewhere. Well, okay, take press-ons with the sticky tabs. Just apply them on this evening for a few hours and then take them off. You can do that on top of the nail polish, but you don't need overlays or extensions here because they are going to make it worse. Her nails are already damaged. They are already thin. Applying any kind of product can make it worse. Even if we're going to use the proper lamp, the proper products, her nails are already thinner than they're supposed to be. There are many layers missing, which means the product will get closer to the nail bed area whether we want it or not. So we need to wait at least 2 to 3 months until the nail plate will fully renew. And let's be honest, it's not that long. We are not talking about years here. Well, with this size of onycholysis that she has on the thumb, it may take a little longer. It really depends on many factors, on the age, of the health condition, but it's absolutely possible that it will grow back within 3 to 6 months. But guess what happened? This model was not just not happy, she was mad, because she said, I expected to get beautiful long extensions and you guys not giving it to me. As we're trying to file and shape her nails, you can see that they're technically falling apart. This is how thin they are, because they are so damaged. So all that we can do here is a regular manicure. Can you apply regular nail polish? Yes, absolutely. I will not recommend colored ones so you can see through the nails and see what's going on. But yes, regular nail polish would be fine here. So we decided to do a traditional manicure here without any kind of overlay, but since the nails are so thin, brittle and damaged, the only filing and shaping we can do here is to file them as short as possible. By manicure, I mean simple cuticle care. So we can push back the cuticles and then do dry manicure with electric nail file. So we are going to use diamond flame shaped bit with red abrasive mark, and the speed is around 17,000 rotations per minute. By the way, regardless of all the damage, we can see how beautiful her natural shape of her nail plate is. Like, this client has this long nail beds, so I really wish that she is going to love herself more and to treat her nails better, because they look so pretty. All she needs to do is just to wait a few months and they will be cute again. But honestly, I have a feeling that all she's going to do is simply, once she leaves out the door, she's going to find some salon, some nail tags and say, hey, cover this please. And of course, unfortunately, there are going to be people who will say yes to her and she will get the service that she wanted to. But guys, if you're watching this channel, if you trust me as an expert, please, let's just make a little pact here. We are not doing this, okay? We as professionals are not covering the nails that have some kind of disease. In this case, these are chemical burns and onycholysis. After we do some prep and push back the cuticles with electric nail file, then we trim the cuticles with special manicure scissors. And finally, let's buff the skin so it will look nice and clean. By the way, her nails look much better already. I can imagine what kind of relief she felt after we did that. And finally, we are going to slightly buff the skin with a buffing bit, and we're also using a special manicure powder, so it is going to absorb some of the oils. In my opinion, her nails look so cute and so much better. Yes, I can imagine that this dark part may be bothering her, and I'm really upset and worried that she refused the service of onycholysis cleaning, because in my opinion, her nails are going to look so much better with this part missing compared to the one that she has now with the color. Well, yes, of course she can cover it with a glitter nail polish, but I'm really worried about this dark spot that she has, which is also probably a sign of a bruise or a burn, which means this onycholysis can spread further. This is going to be bad because potentially it could even end up with total loss of the nail plate. I hope this video was helpful and insightful. If you ever had some kind of experience with nail damage, nail burns, please share your stories in the comments. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Goodbye!